There we go. Welcome. Like, subscribe. No, it's not there yet. Like, subscribe. Do what you need to do to open your Merkaba. Welcome.
Yay! Welcome. So today, which is I guess a culmination of Lunar New Year festivities, and we're starting our first the year of the rabbit. Hoppity hop hop hoppity hop. So I'm gonna, that way we can all do this together. It's more powerful if we all say our prayers together, as we know, in the group. So instead of me usually leading it, I'll probably share my computer. Give me a thumbs up if you like the sound. If not, I'll start reading or start saying it. We usually begin with the prayer from the Clarion Call book, and then the Violet Flame, also from the book. They're on 2 different pages, or right after each other, depending on if you're reading, how your reading is, if you're reading it in the actual tangible book, or you know, you can change it for your Kindle. Get it on Kindle. It's great. You can go everywhere with it. It's an amazing book, and we could play something that my mother sent, who's the Tanya Bowl lady. And we could also do Metatron 1 with everybody. Robbie, what would you prefer? A little music in between, or the first meditation?
As you feel.
Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. I'm feeling 1 for January, as that just came to me. I'm going to share my screen, and this is our first Zoom, so bear with us. And if anybody who wanted to join today and hasn't, we're probably going to put this on YouTube. Like you said, click subscribe. So don't worry if you're having problems right now. We will get you on somehow.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right.
Whoa, don't worry. That is a chant in a huge way. About a thing. Squeeze-a-doo-ba-doo-doo. Every little thing is gonna be all right. All right. And with that said, let's see how this prayer goes. Like I said, give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down, but I'm sure it's going to come through perfectly. For coming. Thank you. Take a healing deep breath in, hold at the top if you can, clear your systems, your blood, your skin, your emotional body, physical body, mental body, spiritual body. Beautiful. Exhale long. And you take a deep breath in and holding at the top, picture your Merkaba spinning, encompassing you, your loved ones, and exhale long. All right, let's start the prayer. Let's see, let's get that in the beginning. All right, amen.
Lord, I ask to be taken to the next level. I ask for divine protection in all that I do. I ask for my abundance to be brought forward to me. I ask for all my karma to be cleared. And I ask for my prayers to be answered. I ask for my meditation to be successful. I ask
in the right direction. I have a synchronicities that I'm joining with my own soul group. Be raised to the higher level. I ask that I be pointed in the right direction, to eat the right things, think the right things, speak the right way, and act according to my design, that the plans that I have in mind are fulfilled.
Right things, drink the right things, speak the right way, and act according to my design, that the plans of the heavenly hierarchy are fulfilled. I ask that my abundance benefits others, and my actions speak louder than my words, but that my words are pure, sweet, and enjoyable. I ask to take my place in the Galactic Council, and that I am made worthy, and the husk of negativity is taken away. I ask that all that I say and do is in alignment with divine will, and that I become my divine self, so that I may walk forward into my mission, and that I have the energy, strength, and power to fulfill my mission. I ask that my active and passive side join together in my Merkaba, and that I am fully emancipated. I ask this in your name. Amen. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. In action in me now. I am the violet flame. To light alone I bow. I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power, I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. In action in me now. I am the violet flame. To light alone I bow. I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power, I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. In action in me now. I am the violet flame. To light alone I bow. I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power, I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone. two three-sided pyramids, one pointing up and one pointing down, intersecting each other. Picture them spinning in opposite directions. It does not matter which direction they are spinning, only that they are spinning in opposite directions. Picture this. Make it a vivid picture in your mind. Watch it spinning. Now picture yourself in the middle of this double pyramid. This is your Merkaba. This is the basic shape that taps into the geometry of the universe in order to let you explore the matrix of creation, in order to let you explore your higher self. First of all, picture this. Picture yourself sitting in this double pyramid. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Breathe out to the very end of your breath. Hold. Only hold for a couple of seconds at first. Then breathe in and breathe out and hold. Whilst breathing, picture your double pyramid spinning around you. Now put your concentration into the point of your third eye. Bring the picture of your double pyramid with you inside it, into the place of your third eye. Now picture a cord going from your third eye to your heart chakra. Picture this as a golden cord, all the while breathing in slowly, holding at the top of your breath, breathing out, holding at the bottom of your breath, while picturing this. Hold this vision. Now, expand the love from your heart chakra whilst picturing this in your third eye. Feed this love and expand this as a bubble of golden love from your heart chakra. All the love you have ever felt in your lifetime for parents, guardians, siblings, lovers, children, friends, the planet, conceptions, all the love. Expand this from your heart chakra. Free this love. Be in this place of expanded love. Feel this love going up the cord to your third eye.
Greetings. I'm Archangel Metatron, the angelic presence that encompasses the universe. Angelic presence that is in each and every heart. The divine presence that goes by many names, by many understandings, but each understanding bringing you back to the oneness. No matter how you understand yourself, everything expands from this oneness. As you feel the power of your Merkaba igniting, being activated, being transformed, you join with all of the other divine beings on this earth right now that are expanding the consciousness of your collective. Do not underestimate your power, dear ones. In this moment, as you realize these things within you, you connect within each and every divine being that is here for the transformation of consciousness that has been moving forward in ever accelerating power. This time just now is a pivotal moment, pivotal in your experience individually. Your individual experience is very powerful as the world awakens. Most of the world, and by the world we mean humanity, mankind, is going through a difficult experience. You are here to shepherd them through this difficult experience with your open Merkaba, with your open heart, giving them the love they do not realize that they have in action. The action is within you now, as everything transforms within your individual experience. Concentrate on this love. Each person that you come into contact with, each person that you have the blessing to be able to help by being yourself in the fullest sense of this statement. By being yourself. We are not talking about the construct of the physical experience you're having. We are talking about the deepest level of being yourself, your divine self, the purest part of you that transforms every part of your experience. The deeper you go into this, the more you connect with this divine game and you're able to play. And it is this playfulness that separates you from all those who are under the spell of darkness, under the spell of manipulation, under the spell of satanic corruption. You're here to let go of everything and play. You're here to become as children once again. And each point that you move forward through brings you a different flowering of your consciousness. As you open up your Merkaba, each different point of your individual flower transforms, blooms in love, loves all those in darkness. And in loving all those in darkness, you illuminate the world, you illuminate everything. This has been happening in your linear time with the ever-decreasing circles of darkness and the ever-increasing circles of light moving through your experience. Now you're being given the task to let go fully of everything that holds you back and holds you down, to cut the cords completely from everything that has been laying heavily upon you, that has been deliberately thrust upon you to hold down your magnificence. You are the divine Christed ones. here to open up in this unconditional love. And you are shepherding all those through when you are showing the joy of your passion. This is individual to each and every one of you. Individual to your divine template that you have come here to be in joy with. This is expanding now exponentially. Feel the power of this rising through your energy system. You are experiencing the open energy of light, the open energy of love, the open purity that transcends all narratives, dissolves you into the oneness that moves through all, through the heart. This is where I am with you. This is where we are one. Feel the power of this now as you spin your Merkaba. Feel the power of your divine oneness and your 0 point. For in this point, all linear time dissolves into one. Your past and your future, all in this moment. We are one now. We are the divine family, the template for humanity, the template for the next stage in expansion. And all things will transform with this energy. Indeed, the dark ego of humanity is scrambling now in fear, in panic. The satanic forces trying to get your ear, trying to get you to listen, trying to corrupt you, trying to hold you down in fear. But there is nothing to fear, dear one. You are love. This is your divine self, your divine core. Let go of all the fear-mongering. Let go of all the expanded energy of trying to put you this way and that way, trying to take your attention. Put your attention on your passion. Put your attention on your fun. Put your attention on your dance. Put your attention on the next level of your understanding that you're creating this reality. And this reality is pure, is transformative. The next stage of uplifting all that come into your essence. The shell of negativity is dropping off. It is weak, dear ones. And in this weakness, in this dying of the darkness, in this choking of the dark forces, they make a lot of noise. This is your lower self, your lower chakras of humanity. Let go of this completely. Move forward through this, dealing with yourself in light, in love, in power. As you are here now, in this 0 point, all explosions of love happen simultaneously. You're doing this now. In hearing these words, all of the activations, all of the next stage of you coming into the age of Aquarius, as you have put it within the divine clock, what you see is the heavens, the timing of everything, the gift of the linear experience. For this is a gift, dear one. Dear ones, we are with you through all of this, empowering you, uplifting you. We are you. This is the next stage of your truth coming through. And all of the inspirations that come from this moment, all of the inspirations in your life, everything that is being dropped of any feelings of disempowerment or that you cannot create your reality is dropping off now. The potency of this moment is in energetics. The energetics of this is an empowering energy We are empowering all Merkabas right now that are listening to this. The center point has been reached. The next stage of your love flowing through you. Feel this effulgence from your heart as you embody your divine self once again. As you embody your divine light body once again. As you trust in this expansion. Each different point builds upon the next within an ascended society. Each different ascended society has their different experiences, but the patterns are all the same. The fractal divinity that resides within you all is ready to be embodied. And now, you being in your authentic self, you being in your true self, you being in your effulgent self, affects all beings around you, and each different inspiration that brings you the creativity to understand that you are creating this reality as a collective of divine light beings, as the 144,000 are activated in their fullest sense now. You bring all beings through the narrow gate. You activate the divine nectar in its fullest sense. You flow the divine love, and you sit in ecstasy in your Buddha self, your Krishna self, your Christed self. Feel the power of this at your heart, and simply be. You're ready to embrace this fully now. And all beings that are hearing this now, and that will hear this in your linear future, will be affected profoundly by this heart opening. Center yourself in this, and recognize the best case scenario template for your heart is being laid before you now. You're capable of all that you can dream of, all that you can think of, all that you can imagine for yourself and for all beings within the matrix of creation. You're creating a world that is blooming, that is flowering, that is expanding in this love at every point. Do not pay heed to any chaos, for you are the light, you are the oneness, you are the truth of the effulgence of spirit, you are the meaning of the clarion call. As you sit in this place, everything transforms within you, and the peace that passes understanding is upon you. Allow this now. Allow the feeling of the effulgence to move the next stage of your actions in your life, each different person in your life, as grace comes upon them. You are the divine darshan of humanity, here to show them their divine template. This is the highest and best case scenario for your world. Embrace this now. Embrace the open Merkaba. Embrace the toroidal field in its fullest form of spinning, connected with the divine toroidal field of the divinity of the oneness. I am Archangel Metatron, I am with you always. All is well. Is everyone doing?
That was very intense. It made everything inside of my body want to come outside of my body.
Beautiful.
Agree. It was another amazing activation, just heart opening, heart expanding. It's just so beautiful. Thank you, Robbie.
You're welcome.
At one point, it felt like I could feel like the single chord that is at the most deepest core of my being vibrating. And like, it almost hurt, but in that same way that like you would stretch a muscle that you've used, in that like tender soreness of like breaking off the maybe stagnant like shell or something of that core, and it made me queasy. Like physically queasy, but it was very profound and amazing.
As the breaking away of the husk of negativity that he talks about, you know, anything that is in the way of your bliss. Yeah. Hope it was queasy in a good way.
Well, I mean, just like Reiki can cause you to your body to naturally like try to purify, to like get out any toxins. So I definitely don't think it was bad. I think it is good. Like my body wants to be as pure as it is now.
Yeah. Well, this feels like a fountain of energy. My heart just feels like.
Robbie, what do you make of the satanic references? Several of them. Do you recall that?
Yeah, there's something about that.
Yeah, when he said it the first time, it's like satanic expansion or something. I thought, did I hear that right? But then, yes, it came up again a few times.
Yeah.
And if you know, and I'm working with the negative reptilian energy, so I'm wondering if it's one and the same, or all part of that same darkness.
Well, it's recognizing we are all one, but the I think what he's talking about is the satanic energies trying to quash humanity, you know, and breaking through that. It's like in the clarion call, the breaking through of the fear barrier, you know. And so I think Satan in this context is fear, you know, is anything that stops us from our core. And there are people that prey on that and want the darkness and want, you know, harm to humanity, or want, you know, people to be, you know, pulled down or pushed down or quashed, or, you know, everybody be hypnotized in a negative way. I think that's what he's talking about. You know, it's like that there's a kind of satanic agenda that's just about darkness. And ultimately, the people that are doing all of that stuff, you know, the core of them is light as well. You know, so it's a self-delusion.
Right.
You know, it's like it's like there's a story of Krishna being the baby Krishna being swallowed by a serpent, and it's the same kind of principles. And he was like dancing, so it was the same as Metatron was talking about being childlike, and he's like being dancing. His mother's like, "Oh, he's been swallowed by Satan. He's been swallowed by the serpent." Obviously, not Satan; it's a different tradition, but the idea is the same. But Krishna, in not fearing, the full effulgence of him in the belly of the snake, he just the snake got disintegrated, got exploded because the effulgence of Krishna was just like, well, you can't swallow me because I am the all of creation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that part within you, no matter the tradition, it's like all of these dark energies are trying to subdue humanity. They can't subsume you, they can't swallow you, because you
No.
are the oneness, you are that energy. So when you're coming from that place, there is no fear. Do you know what I mean? So it's coming through that fear, and that fear can sometimes be that queasy feeling of, you know, it's like, am I good enough? Is this real? Am I powerful enough to break through this? And that agenda kind of wants you to be disempowered, and wants you to not believe in your power, wants you to not believe in the oneness, wants you to not believe that you're good enough, or that you're able to, or that your core is pure and divine, which is nonsense. You know, so yeah, it's kind of like that. So as you open up the effulgence of yourself, none of those things can hold you back, hold you down. You know, so yeah, I think that's what he was talking about. Yeah. And the more that we are opening up as a collective to the light, the more those kind of dark forces are trying to convince the collective, you know, that they're nothing, which is nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the perfect analogy for some of the things that you were saying. I was taking notes kind of in my meditative state, and love all those in darkness was one, and be in joy with what you're doing. So I think that was perfect for something that you had said. It's like, yeah, he was in joy with life. And so it's almost like when you exude that, then darkness just explodes, you know, and open. And you know, I guess being a writer myself, not like I've written anything recently, but oh, I will again soon. One of the greatest songs I've ever written. We should probably release it. I wrote it like a year ago, and I remember it was one of the things is, you know, you are creating your own reality. You're creating your reality. I talk about it all the time, and then, you know. But why it was a Bjork song that talks about, like, I go through all this in my head just to wake up and be safe again. So sometimes we write a lot of our own garbage and our own dramas. And I love horror movies, and it's true, sometimes the dark highlights the light. So if you're going through a drama, you have a choice. Like I think of the worst things. I don't know why that is, but like I said, maybe it's the writer in me. I go through all this horrible things that could happen, but I'm really a happy person.
Yeah. Well, if you're enjoying the thrill of the ride of that, because everything that is dark still comes from the oneness. Everything is us having an experience of going through the hardest things in order to come back to ourselves. It's like over and over and over again. You know, it's like it ebbs and flows always, and the darkness gives us a little thrill, for us to wake up again, you know, to the oneness of the truth of who we really are. So yeah, it's a ride. It's like even all of those dark things, I think because we're at a different tipping point in the collective, it's like there's more of the realization of that being a show. There's more of that, the realization of that being, like you say, a horror film. You know, that's a movie. You know, that's something. It's something that you can experience it, and you can have a rush of it, or you know, look, he's behind you. He's behind you. You know, we're experiencing that as a collective with all the sensationalism and all the different things that are trying to get us into fear. But ultimately, we are the oneness. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exciting.
Yeah. So I made a list of things. I was like, I haven't made a list in forever. Like people talk about New Year's resolutions. So in my head, I was like, you should probably make a list of creating your own reality, like the long term, the short, because I had so many dreams last night, and I was like, these dreams are weird. But like one thing I said in them reminded me of my grandma, who said, you know, which is weird, her perspective of you should die in a house. What she meant was you should own a home. You should have, you know, you should have a place to call home. You should have that feeling and the heart opening experience before you die. You know, she didn't mean it so negatively. So I was like, yeah, you should write your lists.
Definitely.
go
That's
through
it.
yeah, to create your own reality, that you
Yeah.
can do it. And it might be a
Yeah.
long, it might be a short term. That was just do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it all. And then the constancy of, I know there's I have to ask part of the chat group. Well, what's in chat? I have a question for the chat question.
Okay.
I would like to know which Clarion book and download would benefit to release those chord stragglers. I guess I didn't hear that during the Q&A or during the so I might, maybe you know what she means, chord stragglers.
Well, because they were talking about, I mean, there's chords that you have that you're releasing. And sometimes some of them are very persistent, that you want to release those negative chords. This is Elaine, by the way, Elan.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, honey. So, so sometimes like you feel like I know that sometimes I go into my meditative state with my Merkaba and everything, and I send out all these chords to release. And sometimes like you think you release them, but then those thoughts come back. And so you know you still need to work on it. So hi Martinez. Hi baby. So I'm kind of like looking at the books because I looked at a very old meetup that we had way back in 2020. And I don't know, I just feel like the books, we need to make more reference to the books to help us like kind of go into our new era, because it's the beginning of the new year. And we need to release all of that. And at the same time, give lots of love to all the world leaders and politicians without our ego getting in there, because even you might feel a certain way about them. But just releasing those chords, because you have chords that need to be, that sometimes, whether it's fear or something, you think you're fine and something comes back and you're like, how do I get rid of that? I don't know if it's clarified anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And I guess that it is about a reworking of the perception of what is needed to let go of. And what I mean by that is it's like part of the tapestry of your experience is those things being there. And your awareness of them being there sometimes is the thought that they're still controlling you, or that they're still, like they're still pulling the levers. But they're not. They're just, sometimes those things are there as part of what you are, and what you're releasing as the shell of negativity, of control. But just recognize that's part of your history, of your experience. So instead of looking to, I want you gone. Instead of that, it's like embracing that they are part of your journey, and those stragglers, if you like, that are feeling that doesn't have to have control over you. In fact, it doesn't have control over you. The fact that you're noticing that, whatever that action or reaction is that's within you, that's from an old paradigm, just love it as part of what it is that you're shedding. It's like you don't hate your shedding skin. It's been part of you. You just move forward through it, and it naturally drops off. So it's like when something is still there, it's meant to be there, but as you're moving yourself forward through the next stage of it, it naturally drops off as you beam from the effulgence of your core. So the more that you sit in that place, it's not like you have to get rid of it all completely, because it's transmuting in the process anyway. It's just about you trusting that it is, and you acting from your deeper understanding of your own reality. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, don't be in a hurry to let go of everything. It's like sometimes the boil wants to be burst, but sometimes the boil needs to be there because it's healing. Sometimes it's like everything that is there gets taken off in its perfect timing, and it just drops off naturally. So try not to overthink, moving through these things, because they're all gonna drop off anyway. It's just part of the process of you becoming, more and more of your divine self, which you are, But I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. But it's about accepting fully the process. Because if you're accepting fully the process, you're in the 0 point. And if you're in the 0 point, it's like all things are part of the creation, you know. So if that helps.
You know, it also helps to think about like just daily life walking. You know, you have a choice when you're walking with somebody to say, don't step in the shit or watch the shit. I don't
Yes.
say watch the shit. There's a bunch of people that say watch the shit. And I go, oh, wait. By the time you watch the shit, you probably stepped in it. You know it's there. Like what Robbie is saying. You know, all that stuff is there. Just you dip in, waving, you know. How we walk in New York is that we move, you know, we try not to bump into people. So you are aware that there are people, you are aware that there are somebody asking you for change or whatever it is. You ever see that South Park episode and they ask for change? That one's hilarious. It's kind of like that, you know, you don't become the thing that you accidentally might step in. So you know it's there and you move on with your journey. You know, on, well, as they say, you know, the narrow the path, and you know that, you know, eventually you'll get to a place where there's no shit on the ground.
Yes.
But daily, that's what's going to happen. It just, it is what it is.
And that's
You don't
that
have to stand in
feeling.
it.
Yeah, that feeling of breaking through, that feeling sometimes of nausea, as Shauna was talking about. You know, it's like sometimes that's part of the healing process of you letting go, of you breaking through new levels, of you being able to open your heart.
And Robbie, as Metatron came through, there was talking about letting go of the lower chakras. So sometimes when you're going through the process, you will feel nausea. Some people get the headaches, the explosions there.
Yes.
Because sometimes our chakra lights are in the wrong places and they need to move a little bit.
Yeah.
So that could also cause some type of a feeling that is new for you. A lot of people, you know, who meditate a lot and they don't have sexual experiences, their orange chakra is not actually where it needs to be because they're trying to close the door instead of attaching those chakras into the other chakras, which would you do the chi balls and other things that will help. Yes.
Definitely,
Good
definitely.
point. Lee Marines has her hand up. Do you want to unmute yourself? Hey, beautiful.
Yes, of course. Hi.
Hi.
So while we're talking about the loving and attaching, the loving ourselves and acceptance, I've been really like practicing that strongly and I feel the improvements. I'm not naked, by the way. I'm going to just lift up my dress. So I want to also just give myself space, because what I have been struggling with is that my apartment is a wreck. Like, I can't even believe it. So usually what I'm used to is to like have so much shame around it that it paralyzes me from doing anything. And then if not, I like kind of bully myself to start and then I feel good. So this time it's like I've been kind of trying to tackle it little by little, and then it kind of comes back. And so even before we had this call or during the call, yeah, at some point when I went off camera, I was like walking around to get something to drink. And I start like the narrative in my head was like, are you depressed? And then it's like, wait, but also like, don't judge this. Like, it's fine. You'll get to it. Like, because now I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to trust myself more and more, where it's like, I'm going to clean it. Like, I'm not going to live like crazy for a long time. Plus, I hosted a ceremony last week and that took so much out of me, like a bigger group than I usually do. So I'm trying to also be patient with that process. And so I'm talking about this now because I want to really give light to it so that it doesn't live in the shadow and in the shame.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like talking about it is also planting a seed, is relieving the tension around it. And also the shit conversation about, I know I'm thinking maybe you said this, but it was a different level of deja vu. Like, it was intense. And I used to get deja vu a lot as a child. I don't really get it anymore.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really highlight that as well. Yeah, I think I'm complete.
Yeah, I think you're working through all of this in the moment, and it's wonderful. And I think you pinpointed part of your expansion when you took on the bigger group. It's like that's a different experience of you feeling that accountability for your heart energy and what you're giving to the world. So that takes some more time to assimilate. So you're assimilating, you're in the process of assimilating, and sometimes that can manifest in, you know, not having cleaned up for a while or whatever it is, but you not beating yourself up about it and loving yourself and knowing I'm going to get to this, I'm going to get to everything, you know, you just being in the center with yourself. And I think that was part of what seemed very different today in this channeling, because a lot of the channeling was just him being. I was just like in this place of effulgence, this place of expansion. And when you're sitting in that, no matter what the state of your apartment is or what it is that you're doing, you loving yourself regardless, everything else will fall into place. You know, but I think that's the point of of the genesis of that feeling, because you took on this bigger group. So God bless you. That's great. Fantastic. It's expansion, you know, and now it's just you sitting with that in your deeper power, you know, sitting with that. Oh, hello. Sitting with that in your deeper power and keeping your heart open to it, not judging yourself, just flowing with it, being grateful for it even, because sometimes you have to, like, you know, big waves can make that a mess. You know, big storms can make a mess. If you're here to clear everything, it's like sometimes it needs everything to be all awry in order for you to recognize, well, I'm in a fuller place right now. You know, how can I create from this fuller place? Which is part of what it's like you worked your way through it when you were talking about it, you know, like opening your heart to it and loving yourself in this. So you sitting in this place will help the process, you know. Yeah.
That's so deep, because I didn't make the connection. Like, I thought it was just exhaustion, but the expansion, I really didn't connect. And you said something right now about creation, which right before the ceremony, I remember explaining to them, like, we're about to skip timelines. And I think, like, as a facilitator, I try to make sure that I am really putting myself to the side and focusing on them. But I think I possibly underestimated the transformation that's happening with me as well.
Yes.
And I want to add also what I noticed, what I really, what I understood while you were speaking that I didn't understand before, is that I'm no longer allowing it to determine my worth.
Yes.
So I'm definitely, like you said, oh, you're not judging yourself. I'm getting there, you know, I'm still judging, but this is new where it's not determining my worth. Like, I have a baby shower to go to. My friend was like, look nice, put on makeup. I'm like, ugh. So I'm like trying on outfits last night, and I'm hearing my mother's voice like, how dare you try to be cute when you have a mess, you know, like when I was a teenager. So before I would show up places like kind of like feeling kind of disgusting, because it's like, oh, you know, you look like this, but your house looks crazy. And so I don't feel that way. Like, I'm happy, and I'm gonna show up in my full light.
So this is another expansion of what Elaine was talking about. So it's about those cords that are the stragglers. You're aware of it, or you're aware that it used to be there, or you're aware that that was the way that you used to feel, but now you're not letting it dominate your experience. Now it's like you just being in this place, well, okay, not everything's done. Not everything's ever going to be done, really. You know, so the more that you're sitting in this place of effulgence, not only are you able to be aware of these things that you want to change or you want to make it different, and you will, but not letting that dominate your experience. So that's perfect, you know. So, oh, well, that's wonderful. So you'll go to the shower this afternoon, and you'll be glowing with everything. You'll be able to you know, open up the mother with your love, you know, and it not being hindered by your judgment or the voice in your head of your mother judging you or whatever it is that's holding you back. So that's exciting. That's wonderful. My blessings to your shower. That's fantastic. But that all links into what was being said as well. So what Elaine was saying as well, it's like this is exactly the same thing, just in a different form. You know, and it's you sitting with that, and you appreciating that you can do this. You appreciating that you can reach a bigger audience, or you can teach a bigger group, or you can expand into that more and more. And that always has its effect. And it's just appreciating as you're going through. They say the best way to learn is to teach. So as you're going through that teaching process with all of your students or the people that are in your class or in your ceremonies, you're learning more and more to be in that center place. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
I have another thing, unless somebody else wants to speak, because I spoke already.
I think
All
you're
right.
okay for just now.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to 2020 because there was a couple of few questions that were very, very good. And you responded. I mean, they were a great response, but we couldn't get a video of it. So it's like one of the questions was, how much does it take to open your Merkaba and how to do it effectively as soon as possible? Because every time I do it, I notice a feeling of tiredness and pain, and the person pointed to their arm rotator area. So the question, like, I think it's still still think it's important because I think you can always improve on how you open your Merkaba. And this person wanted to know how to do it effectively and as soon as possible without like feeling the tiredness of pain in her body.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, the pain sometimes is a process that you're going through for a reason. It'll be like, what is this pain teaching me? Why am I going to let go of this pain too early so I don't regrow? It's the same principle of the chrysalis and the butterfly. Like you think you're being a good person by taking the butterfly out the chrysalis. It's like, oh, you're struggling. I'll take you out of that chrysalis. Right, I'll help you out of that. And then the butterfly can't spread its wings because it's not strong enough. It's not had the struggle to come out of the chrysalis. So it's the same kind of idea or principle that I'm seeing with your question, or with that question. I can't remember the particular question in 2020, but
well, I have the video, so I was actually
Okay.
trying to transcribe it.
Right.
Because I felt it was a really good session. We could have learned a lot from it. But it was like, how much does it take to open the Merkaba and how to do it effectively as soon as possible? That was one of them.
It is one of these questions, though, that is like, how long is a piece of string? Because it can happen like that. It can happen immediately if you're ready for it. But not everybody is ready fully in that moment to experience the fullness of their divine self. So it's a process that's why it's like always under grace. That's why, Metatron says about the chi balls as well. Everything is under grace because the fullness of the Merkaba opening and the experience of oneness and the experience of the darkest place of fear and pain and negativity, they're both divine experiences. And you're coming from the oneness, which you will always return to, into the space of the separation and the subjective experience. And you're always going backwards and forwards. So it's like being in a hurry with it can sometimes be counterproductive to what it is you're here to experience or what you've given yourself to experience. So you can get into that place, but that's part of what the point of the ring pass knot in the clarion call is there for. So you can practice, and when you're ready, it will open fully. So it's not, it's not like, well, is there a secret technique that can open me up? But if you have, there are certain things that force open your third eye or force open your kundalini or force open your energy. But if you're not ready for that experience, it can be traumatic if you're not ready for that. So you recognizing that it is an unfoldment, and you being gentle with yourself and you being loving with yourself, and instead of saying, how quickly can I open this Merkaba and all my troubles will go away and I'll be a divine avatar and I'll be walking in all of that energy, think to yourself, well, I'm already a divine being. I've given myself this experience. What am I learning from this moment? Why am I in such a hurry to get away from what it is that I'm learning from this right now? So that, like I say, there are techniques, but some things that are there to protect you. The ring pass knot is there to protect you in your consciousness just now, so that you go through the experiences that you need to have as you, and then when you are ready for that, everything will transform and you will be ready and you'll enjoy it and it'll be amazing. It opens up. It is a really beautiful experience. And some things squeeze you in order to get you to use those kind of esoteric muscles, if you like, in order to practice and practice and practice. And it will support you and help you and bring you into deeper balance no matter what you're going through anyway. But when you're talking about the fullest experience of opening your Merkaba, each individual will open it when they're ready, and when they're making that enough effort within their own self to forgive themselves, to forgive others, to recognize all the different principles and feel that rising within them, because it's a process. Each different part reveals another part of the onion. The onion. I'm like an onion. I'm an ogre. I'm like an onion. Ogres have layers. We're all ogres with layers. So, does that answer your question, Elaine?
Yeah, it's adding on more to what you originally said about it. So I really like it.
Good, good.
Because you said some wonderful words, about the Merkaba mechanism is the same for everybody, but because everybody has their own fears and trepidations or personal points, they have to overcome. It is very personal to you. And so
exactly. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, how long is a piece of string? Because your piece of string will be different from my piece of string, be different from everybody else's piece of string, And it's like, sometimes it can be like that, but that can be because you're ready for it, or because you're in the place, because this is, again, it's going back to Shauna talking about that little bit of not nausea, but that energy of knowing that you're going through a healing process as well. You're going through something that if you just release that, you release everything that's holding you back, from the deepest part of your effulgence, and recognizing, well, that's my personal journey. That's my personal mosaic, that when I let go, everything just comes into one, So it's not like A, B, C, there's a principle. There are certain principles, but you are unique within yourself. So everything that is within you is different from what's within me as far as my personal experience is concerned, but we're all one in that center place of the Merkaba. We're all one in that center point of the 0 point. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm glad that helped you. But yeah, I'm seeing the comments here now. This is a different experience. Zoom.
You know how to, like, in a race, like the Olympics, you're doing certain type of relay races, everybody starts off in like a different number. Yes. And they start off in a different point. See, with that one, you end in the same place.
Yes.
But it's kind of like that. If you go and you look at where somebody else is starting and you don't understand that you're all going to end properly, so you know who's first, second, third, fourth, you would get I don't know, like maybe perturbed, like, how come that person is glowing when they meditate? Or, this is, sometimes I've heard that, while meditating, oh my God, you fell out, or like we're shaking our heads because we're opening up. And, it's a weird thing to compare, when's your Merkaba opening, when this person, that person. But some people start off a little closer, than others. We're all getting to the same place. It just looks
exactly. We're all exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, even just now, it's like the world has only gotten lately to the vibration that we're actually able to speak about this freely. That's why in like millennia gone by, there was these mystery schools, because they, and I don't mean secret societies, I mean mystery schools, insofar as you're only got to be ready for something at a certain point, or it will be too overwhelming for you, energetically, for you to get into that place. Whereas now everything that was esoteric is becoming exoteric, if you like. You know, it's like we're able to discuss these things openly and freely because the world is ready for it. So that really race is really it's like we're at that next bit of recognizing that the vibration is lifting a lot. The light is being shone on that darkness, and that's all that's needed for the darkness to disappear. That's what I was saying about, you know, with the story of Krishna. You know, it's like you are the light. You know, that's your ultimate reality, no matter what, you know, scary movie you're watching or believing in. You know, so yeah, it's a relay race. You sometimes talk about relay races, passing the baton. Sometimes of that's what we're doing just now. We're grabbing the baton from Jesus. We're grabbing the baton from Krishna. We're grabbing the baton from Buddha, you know, and moving ourselves to this little part, this little bubble of being Robbie for this century or so of being me, but it's only just a little experience of the soul journey moving forward. It's another point of grabbing that baton and now running to pass it on, over and over again. More and more we come into that deepness, the deepest part of our effulgence, and recognizing that we can, and all of these experiences that are expanding us, like Marinez with her class, you know, it's like, you know, and everybody's gaining from it. And then you're realizing, wait a minute, I need to deal with the next level of my expansion now as well. You know, and the waves that I'm making, the beautiful waves of love that I'm making and opening my heart and not being prepared to accept anything less than I deserve, and not being taken offline or off course by anybody that cannot see their own worth. Yeah. Marinez, how are you again?
Sorry, last thing.
Not at
Right
all.
now, when you were talking, right, and you said the expansion thing about me, and I was like, oh, so I went to write a note in my phone to remind myself, and then you said, not accepting anything less than I deserve, right? So the thing about that is, right after the ceremony, the day later, I changed my prices for like everything. Because I was like, why am I so, like, I'm so afraid that people can't afford it or something, that I'm lowering the price. That's not really, it's not reciprocating my energy input and time. You know, it takes me a week before and after just to like.
There you go. You're worth it. You're worth it.
I'm worth it.
Yeah, you're worth it. And everything that's there, that's the thing. It's like that's why it's like everything is there. Everything is there that is needed, that they will be able to get from you energetically anyway, even but without your presence. So it's like your presence, you knowing your own worth. And then everything else is a knock-on effect energetically that isn't even involving money. That's your presence. That's who you are. That's what you're here. You're here to love the world. But what your worth is, yes, exactly. Do that. Open that up. You know, it's like, and even more and more with courses and books and the way that you're thinking bigger about yourself and believing in yourself and believing in your image. You believing in, you know, what you are to everybody else. It will have that. And when I just said that, I could feel that trepidation. Like you came through a thing with this latest expansion of your groups, but when I said that, you're like, oh, books and things. That's the next level of you expanding your worth, and that's that encompasses financial value as well. It encompasses everything. It's what your vision of abundance is. You can have it. You can have it. You're having it. You're doing it. You're already giving that worth. You're giving that service. That is really exciting. You know, so the next level of it, just keep opening your heart to it, and you'll be inspired to do what you need to do in order to expand into the light of the oneness. Yeah, which you're doing. That's exciting. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. This baby shower is going to be blown up by you this afternoon.
Hopefully. Thank you. I'm complete.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is there anybody else with questions? Or is there anybody?
I do. This is Elaine again.
Hi, Elaine again.
Listen, it's because I'm like going back and I'm like been really thinking a lot lately. So, you know, I'm going back to this thing because I thought it was really good. So you said something like, as you're expanding your antenna, so as you're expanding your antenna, you will feel other people more. And we're talking about
Yes.
when you're healing, you're sending chi balls.
Yes.
And you might be feeling other people's ailments, aches,
Yes.
and pains. You might be
Yes.
feeling other people who are close to you,
Yes.
as well as your loved ones.
Yes.
How can you help us with that part?
Well, you know, that's another point of kind of letting go and cutting the cords and doing the chi balls for yourself when you're doing them properly. You do have that experience of that discomfort sometimes, like if you're helping somebody, or you'll feel their exact ailment or their exact mental malady or whatever it is. So you just have to, all that you can really do is move through it and keep your heart open to it, you know. And when you recognize, that's the importance of clearance, and I think that's why chi balls are so important as well, because within the process where you're doing it correctly, you get cleared anyway. It's like your energy system all gets cleared as you're moving forward, but it can be very intense. And you making sure you have some time, some solitary time to do that for yourself, or to clear that energy, is very, very important, because it's becoming more and more transparent. It's becoming more and more transparent with everything. So you're becoming more and more sensitive. You're feeling things more and more. But the important thing is to recognize what it is that's yours and what it is that somebody else's. That's not something that you regularly feel. It gives you an insight into what they're going through and how you can be more and more compassionate, because the more that you feel empathically, energetically, within your body, within your mind, within your energy system, the more that you soften yourself to their predicament or their pain or their energy, and even physically, like you feel it physically, or you feel their pain, that's helping you clear it. But the more that you allow it to move through you rather than stay with you, the more you'll be cleared. You will be cleared. It will move forward through you, and that's another part of that compassion. It's like knowing, well, at least that's a difficult thing that person's going through, but I know that this is just temporary within me, so that I can help them heal, and so that all can move forward. So yeah, it's really just, when you're going through it, keep going through it, because you'll come through the other end of it, you know. And the process of the chi balls does bring you deeper and deeper into that center place. Make sure, if you're going to do chi balls, just make sure you do the full process. It's very simple, but it has to be, the first is the person, the second is Mother Earth, the grounding part, and the third part is yourself. You have to do all three for you to clear that process. Do you know what I mean? So if it's because sometimes people say to me about the chi balls, like they'll send out a chi ball and they'll be sending out chi balls to the people, but then they won't be grounding themselves, or they won't be doing the chi ball for themselves. But it's a very clear 3-point process, so that you don't get stuck in the middle of their ailment or their energy or their mental malady, or you know, whatever it is that you're trying to heal. So I think the best advice with that is go through the process 1, 2, 3. You know, it's very simple, it's very quick, it's not, it doesn't take a long time, and you can do multiple of the first as long as you're doing the second and third. You just need to make sure that you're grounding with Mother Earth, and that you're doing the third chi ball on yourself, which clears you, you know. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, because usually my process is I do the Metatron prayer that we do at the beginning of our meetup.
Yeah.
Then I connect with my chakras and, you know, spin my Merkaba. Then I go into the chi ball, and then I do the final prayer that you one time showed us. And so, but you know, can I just do 3 chi balls just for me, like myself, then connect Mother Earth, and then myself afterwards?
Yes, over and over and over and over again. In fact, that's probably, the more that you do that for yourself, the more help you are for others, and the more that you're able to be more effective with your chi balls. And I think sometimes thinking am I being selfish here? I'm being selfish here. Why? I'm having all this
Exactly.
bliss. I'm all this bliss just for me. I'm so selfish. But that's an old paradigm. You are blessed. So the more that you're in bliss and the more that you're allowing yourself to be in that bliss, the easier it is for you to deal with things that is not the experience of bliss. So the more that you are, the less that people can hook onto you energetically, the more that you clear your energy, and it's like a cutting of the cords. You know, it's almost like a natural cutting of the cords, doing all three and being in that bliss. Because the more that you are, the more you can help. And the more you can help, the more you are. And the more you are, the more you can help. And it just has a compound interest. And also, each time that you do that for yourself, you're also tapping into the energy of everybody else that's done G-balls. So, you know, that's Metatron was quite clear about that. It's like with this process, with the healing book, as you're doing that, there's a compound interest that with everybody else that's ever done that exercise. So you're helped more and more, and you're not being selfish doing that for yourself. In fact, it's like it's a very good way of coming into meditation, because it's active, and all of the nadis, all of the expansion at the extremities of your being. It's a very esoteric thing when you clap your hands as well. It's like energetically that brings you into that kind of deeper place, and you know it because you feel it physically as well, you know. So that helps you get into that space where you're expanding your heart. You're in a deeper effulgence. You're in a deeper point of expanding your love. So yes, no, do it to yourself. You're not being selfish. In fact, that is, the more that you're allowing yourself to be in bliss and be in that center place, the less selfish you're being, actually, you know, because as you're opening to the oneness, you're helping not only the person or people that you're trying to help, but you're helping the collective. The more that you're opening up to the divine energy and aligning, it's like when that Jesus says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you." So don't chase the things, chase the divine oneness, chase the alignment, chase the column of light. And that happens with the chi balls as you clear your energy system, you know, and you balance everything. And who was talking about the chakras, the lower chakras, or the unbalanced chakras? It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your chakras. It just means if you're operating from an imbalanced place, primarily from the lower self, from your heart, nothing's in balance. When Metatron's saying you're operating from your lower chakras, it's not saying there's anything wrong with your lower chakras. It's saying that if they're not in balance and you're not working with your column of light, so you're working with the fullness of yourself in balance, your experience is going to be skew with. So the more that you come from that place, which is helped by the chi balls, the more in balance you will be, the more bliss you will feel, the more that you will be operating from your whole self instead of just your lower chakras or just your physical experience. You know what I mean? Just your sexual experience, or just the experience of whatever it is that is motivating you at the moment. You will have a greater experience physically, sexually, emotionally, mentally when you're operating from that center, and that's helped by the chi balls. That's helped by you getting into that place. So you doing them for yourself is you doing them for everybody, you know. So yeah. No, chi ball away. Chi ball away.
I'm going for it.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been a lovely Zoom meetup. It was still sitting in that energy of Metatron. It's like pulsing with the heart. It's really beautiful. Does anybody else have a question? Because I think I'll need to go. I'm just looking at the time there. Time has really flown today.
It's been really great. Thank you so much, Robbie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie. It's been beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I think this whole thing's going to have to be uploaded to YouTube, because I might do them both separately, but I think the whole thing needs to, because there's a lot of further explanation that I think will help people, you know, just as discussing it and going deeper with it. Yeah. So yeah. Very beautiful meetup. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So beautiful.
Thank you,
so
Mama
much,
Mayors,
Robbie.
for hosting the Zoom. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Love you too.
Okay. Lots of love.